I always thought that it was a great asset to have been an actor first, because my puppeteering was a little shaky in the beginning, having not grown up playing with a puppet at all and kind of learning on the job. And so I knew that I could create a character if I just, it was the most important thing, not only the voice, but to make that a very specific character. And I think I could bluster through just about everything if even if the puppeteering wasn't that great, it still would seem okay because I tried really hard and came up with a character. And I know that's why Jim hired me with absolutely no experience, because he also had virtually no experience when he started puppeteering.
Yeah.
He learned on the job, and I had all the other skills that he needed. I could sing, I could come up with characters, I could do all sorts of accents from having done Irish plays and British plays, and I had an ear for that sort of thing. So all I needed to do was learn how to manipulate, which of course is not easy. But Jerry and I had that in common. He could do so much with his voice and come up with so many different voices and characters. And that's because of his acting background. I'm convinced of it.
Right. It's a very solid foundation to be able to stand on as you bring up those other skills to that same level.
And I just approached it as if the costume was on my hand.
Sure.
And somehow I just did that. And I thought, well, what was if I, did a double take? What would that look like? And so I would just try to do that with the head of the puppet.
I would imagine.
It got easier. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say I've got some acting experience as well, and one thing I think that you can pick up with more as an actor that you might, and I think you can pick it up as a puppeteer, but it wouldn't be maybe as intuitive. Is just like the types of be acting natural, because there's nothing natural really about having a puppet on your arm and holding it up. So I think there's from that standpoint there's a much better understanding of how to move naturally and what looks natural.
Yes, and I also think you learn that you don't have to be real busy with that puppet. In real life, if you're trying to make this puppet look like a real human being, they're not looking all over the place all the time. They concentrate. They make eye contact, they think, they ponder, it doesn't have to be a million things. In fact, the best actors do very little, as we all know, So I think I knew that, and I didn't think that, wow, I had to keep the puppet alive. Yeah, but I didn't have to be doing something with it all the time. Talking and listening is really important for both actors and puppets. And to me, they're people. They are people.
Sure.
They have their own personality, they're characters, they're real. So why would you be doing all sorts of busy stuff? Because that person wouldn't do that in real life unless you're doing a puppet that is like that and is a zany, nutty, sort of character.
Yeah, people take for granted how important stillness is in the manipulation process of any of those characters, even if they are, something crazy like an animal or Cookie Monster or something like that.
Who is really good at that, and of course you learn from the best, is Frank.
Yes.
Because he could do the best, what would you call that kind of a take? Where you just do nothing, and then you finally say whatever it is.
Oh, sure.
Isn't there some phrase for that?
It's not. Would that be deadpan?
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe deadpan. Yeah, he was great at that. I remember. I think he did that with. I don't know. This is going back a bit, but you might remember this when he did the salesman, and he'd open his raincoat and he'd have stuff in there. I'll sell you a Z or something like that. And he was just phenomenal at differentiating between all these characters with his manipulation. Boy, superb. Nobody can really top him. He was just great. And I learned that from him, just going, I mean, I did that with Prairie, I hope, enough times. It was like, oh dear. You just take that one moment and then react or whatever.